Holy smokes, guys, there has been some crazy news today regarding Brett Cooper and Fox News. Surprisingly, this is amazing news, by the way, but it is crazy nonetheless, as well as Representative Jasmine Crockett on Melania Trump. She was straight out calling the First Lady out, which was just bonkers, and we're going to go ahead and talk about it. Also, guys, we have to talk about possibly the next mayor of New York, Democrat socialist Zohran Mamdani. Yeah, very, very interesting stuff happening in New York City, and President Trump has a lot of interesting words to say about it. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Also, if you like having conversations like this, if you think they matter, if you think they're important, or at the very least, you think they're entertaining, please consider liking and subscribing because it honestly makes a huge difference. All right, check this out.
Programming note and network note. Today on The Will Cain Show, we were supposed to have Brett Cooper here in studio with a big announcement, but unfortunately she ran into some travel issues, some car issues. But that didn't stop Brett from sharing her news.
Hello, everyone. I am reporting live from a Buc-ee's in the middle of Texas. I'm so sorry that I was not able to join Will on the show live today. I was so excited to kick off this new partnership with Fox in this official way, but a series of unfortunate events left my husband and I on the side of the road in Texas on the freeway as we were trying to get between Austin and Dallas for the tour that I'm currently on. So I was not able to make it in time, but I wanted to send in this video just to say hi and to thank you all for the congratulations and the excitement. I am so excited to join Fox as a contributor. I can't wait to be on their shows even more regularly. I think it'll be so much fun, and I will see you guys on Fox tomorrow.
You know,
wow, Brett Cooper on Fox News. All right, that is something that I was definitely not expecting, but honestly, I do think this is super cool. And in a moment where mainstream media like CNN and MSNBC is struggling to keep people clicking, is struggling to keep people online just because their takes for the most part are so bad, Fox News, I feel like they're kind of ahead of the curve here. All right, so they're trying to actually make and keep things interesting. So to have someone like Brett Cooper come on, extremely based, honestly kind of a good move. All right, and as you guys know, there are people online who think this is awesome, and there's people online who are going to think that it's not. But check this out. One person who is for this says Brett is a tough, good on camera, and a faithful supporter of the TPUSA and PragerU in the past. She's going to be wonderful on Fox. Can't wait for Brett. But like you guys know, we always talk about kind of the polarizing opinion here. And one person says, oh, perfect. Another mouthpiece with a script. Fox isn't hiring journalists. They're casting roles. Brett's not reporting truth. She's reading lines. This isn't news. It's state-sponsored performance art for people who think rage equals righteousness. But here's the thing. When the system collapses under its own lies, the actor falls with the stage. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be that negative. Honestly, I think I'm a little bit more enthusiastic about this. I like Brett. And look, I don't know if I always share the same opinion as Brett, which would be weird if I did, but I still think this is kind of a win. I think this is cool, and more people are going to get to see Brett, and why not? But check this out on something probably a little bit more interesting. Guys, Jasmine Crockett today on the topic of immigration brought up First Lady Melania Trump to make a very interesting, surprising point. Check this out.
Since we're talking about integrity, I'm confused as to why my Republican colleagues aren't talking about the lack of integrity when it comes to the president's family's visas. Let me remind y'all that Melania, the First Lady, a model, and when I say model, I'm not talking about Tyra Banks, Cindy Crawford, or Naomi Campbell level, applied for and was given an EB-1 visa. And what that stands for is an Einstein visa. Now, y'all that don't know, let me tell you how you receive an Einstein visa. You're supposed to have some sort of significant achievement, like being awarded a Nobel Peace Prize or a Pulitzer, being an Olympic medalist, or having other sustained extraordinary abilities and success in sciences, arts, education, business, or athletics. Last time I checked, the First Lady had none of those accolades under her belt. It doesn't take an Einstein to see that the math ain't mathin' here. Nevertheless, what Republicans are doing With this reconciliation process, the travel bans and revoking visas jeopardizes our national security. It threatens our communities, our higher education, and our economy. Visas like the largely vetted J visas for higher education and M visas for trade, training attract the next innovators, medical providers, researchers, and educators that we need to build on American success.
So I know the topic of immigration is incredibly controversial, but I will say this. This is why so many people lose faith in government and justice, because I think regardless of whatever side of the political spectrum you lean towards, I think everyone could agree that there are moments when the law bends to those who are in power, bends to the powerful. And because immigration is so complicated, like we always want to be serious about solving problems, but we also need to stop pretending like the system is always perfect. We need to stop pretending that the system treats everyone with complete fairness and equality. And I just don't always know if that's true. Like Melania Trump is probably a really good example of this. Like the Einstein visa. I know Melania Trump speaks many different languages. I know she had a modeling career, but I do think the defining factor was that she was probably aligned with Donald Trump. I don't know. Did that have something to do with it? If you ask me, probably. And hey, I don't know if that's the right take, but it is mine. So go ahead and let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. But definitely one of the bigger stories that happened over the past 24 hours is the mayoral race in New York City just got very interesting when Zoran Mamdani ended up winning the primary, right? So now he's going to be running up against the current Democratic mayor of New York City, who is Eric Adams. So that is very, very interesting. And a lot of people have a lot of interesting things to say about this, including President Trump. Check this out. He wrote, "It finally happened. The Democrats have crossed the line. Zoran Mamdani, a 100% communist lunatic, has just won the Dem primary and is on his way to becoming mayor. We've had radical lefties before, but this is getting a little ridiculous. He looks terrible. His voice is grating. He's not very smart. He's got AOC plus 3 dummies backing him, and even our great Palestinian senator, crying Chuck Schumer, is groveling over him. Yes, this is a big moment in the history of our country. Holy smokes. Even Senator John Fetterman had something very interesting to say about him. He said that I describe it as Christmas in July for the GOP, suggesting that he is going to get crushed in the election. So what ends up happening is going to be very, very interesting. But you know what? One of my favorite takes here is actually from Charlie Kirk. And this is a little bit of a long one, but it is interesting. All right, because a lot of people are saying that, you know what, why do we care about what's happening in New York? Let them crumble, let them go ahead and make their own mistakes. But Charlie, in this moment, actually is injecting a whole lot of hope and a good reason as to why we should keep pressing forward. So I'm just going to go ahead and read this whole tweet. Check this out. He wrote, "I frequently run into the take that conservatives should just throw up their hands and leave New York to its fate. They're Democrats. Let them destroy themselves as an example to others. I understand the temptation, but it's a mistake. New York is arguably America's greatest city. It is the nerve center for the entire global economy. It has America's most famous sports teams, museums, buildings, and more. It is the global capital of finance, media, and the arts. And of course, that's exactly why migrants and Marxists want to conquer it. New York symbolizes America to the world. And that's why radical Islamists attacked on 9/11. All of America looks toward New York. When New York revived under Mayor Giuliani in the 90s, America's other cities followed its lead. New York gave us winning policies like broken windows policing and stop and frisk. During the Biden years, Eric Adams kicked off the urban centrist backlash against Biden's open border policies. New York shows the common man of America is with us. They quitted Daniel Penny and Bernie Goetz. They swung more towards Donald Trump than any American city. Even in yesterday's primary, the city's low-income Democrats voted against Mamdani. Last year, one of my producer's friends was violently attacked and mugged by one New Yorker, but she was rescued by another one who fought the attacker unarmed. God was willing to save Saddam if he could find 10 righteous men in it. And New York is far more than 10. So good. Plenty of people wanted us to abandon college campuses as lost cause, communist no-go zones. But we learned last year that if we bother to fight back, we could turn the tide. New York can be the same way. America simply giving up on New York is like the British Empire giving up on London, or the Roman Empire giving up on Rome. If we don't even fight for one of the crown jewels of our nation, then we deserve to lose it. You know, I agree so much about what Charlie wrote here, honestly. And, you know, if we really are serious about revival, whether we're talking politically or socially or spiritually, we don't walk away ever. And, you know, one time I was working on the car with my dad, and he was cleaning this like dollar magnet tool. And I'm like, I'll just buy a new one because it had sunk to the bottom of the oil pan the oil drip pan. And it's like, okay, well, I'll just buy another one. It's okay. And he's like, no, I'm going to clean it. If it works, I'm going to clean it. I always thought about that. I always thought that was so good. But it's true. Like, we don't walk away just because something gets hard. We lean in, we stay, we clean it up. And sometimes that means caring enough to be uncomfortable. So if you ask me, that's how the future's created. By staying, by doing the work, by caring enough to get involved. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, that is the video for today. Definitely a short one, but I do think it was a good one. All right. So thank you so much for tuning in. Please let me know what you thought about some of these conversations, from Brett Cooper to Jasmine Crockett to Zoran and President Trump's take on it. All right. Anyways, that is the video, and I will see you on next time. Please let me know what you agree with, what you disagree with, and please make sure to like and subscribe. All righty, I'll see you guys next time. Episode's over already? Jeez, that was fast. Well, they say beautiful things do not last forever, but feel free to watch and listen to another one of these episodes if you're interested in those conversations as well. Also, this next part is huge. Make sure to obliterate that like and subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never skip a beat. I also have a newsletter where we dive into the news, politics, and ideas that shape our future. If you're interested in signing up, I'd really appreciate that. Anyways, that's the end of this episode. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and I'll see you next time.